Okay, it is being recorded. And now I'm gonna share my screen. Do you see that? Do all of you see that? Three principles, three ideas behind the marathon. Okay, cool. Looks like
Yes.
we're moving on. Now, sharing some marathon stats. For this marathon, as of 1 p.m. today, we have some people who joined after 1 p.m., but as of 1 p.m. today, we have 92 participants coming from 5 countries. Five, Carl, that's Kazakhstan, Russia, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and Moldova. We have a newcomer, Moldova. We have one participant from there, and we're so happy to have you as a part of our marathon. Speaking of packages, every second person who's listening to me now is coming from a classic package. That's actually a good way to describe the pie chart. I mean, learn from me. Then we have a third. Every third person has signed up for the upgrade package, and 1/5 is pro. I mean, what a beautiful way to split, right? I mean, the percentages are sharp. And speaking of cities, most of you are coming from my hometown of Almaty, then followed by Nur Sultan, and we have people from all these different cities. I mean, yeah, from the perspective of diversity, this marathon has done a fantastic job. It has less participants than in the previous marathon, but the coverage is more diverse, which we are so proud of. Cool. Moving on. So what is IELTS 9.0 and what you guys have paid for? This is a 30-day intensive IELTS course that has started yesterday, and it's going to last until December 22nd. So our main approach to teaching is daily video lessons combined with practice tasks and activities. And the main platform of the marathon is Thinkific. All right. So essentially the schedule looks like this. Every Monday, you're going to have a reading practice, right? You will get a video lesson, then practice task. Every Tuesdays and Wednesdays would be for writing task 1 and 2. On Thursdays, we practice listening, and on Friday, we work on speaking. Every Saturday, we're going to practice everything you've learned during the weekdays on the practice test. And Sunday is designated as a chill day. So on this day, we don't require you to do anything except submitting your practice test. And we offer an optional exercise, which isn't compulsory, to watch a TV show in English. All right. So basically, as you see, we balance the preparation to all 4 skills, and we also dedicate special attention to writing, because most of you, I mean, and when I say you, I mean all people living in post-Soviet countries, which we focus on. I mean, we experience severe problems with writing, and that's why we dedicate 2 days on developing your writing abilities. All right, and yeah, we try to make the program balanced and holistic. So speaking of activities, right, I also said that we're going to have activities. Besides video lessons, we're going to have 8 speaking clubs. Our speaking clubs would be run every Monday and Thursday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Nur Sultan time. Then we're going to have 4 practice tests. The first one coming this Saturday. All right. So every Saturday at 8 a.m. the test would be released. You will have a day and a half to complete it. So the deadline, so it's published on Saturday 8 a.m. and you have to complete it by Sunday 6 p.m. On the one hand, it is more than enough, right? Because the typical test takes about 3.5 hours to complete. But there are so many people who miss this window. And what I want from you is take it seriously, all right? Please take practice tests seriously. It is the essence of your learning. It's the most important thing, right? I mean, what's the point of preparing for IELTS if you're not taking practice tests, right? It's like the real combat, real war experience. That's why you need it. We are also going to have a speaking buddy program. So each of you will get their own speaking buddy from the marathon participants, all right? That would be your speaking partner. We will share more details on that later. During this week, we will inform you about everything, but yeah, don't worry about it for now. We will also give you access to the idea bank. So many people struggle with finding ideas for writing task 2, right? They just see the topic on government, on healthcare, on tax, and they just don't know what to write about. And guess what? That problem has been solved by us. We have designed a special document named Idea Bank. That document contains a collection of a plethora of ideas on many, many topics. And using that document, you can just quickly fill in your own bank of ideas and feel yourself more confident with different IELTS tasks. So this is a course map, and to present this map, I would like to pass the mic to our course designer, Svetlana Kabushko. Sveta, would you be ready to present the course map to participants?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, great, guys. So you are, right now you see the baby of ours. That's the map of the course. Actually, we can send it to you in PDF format so that you can, I don't know, use it as a calendar, yeah? Like if you want to cross out the days, which will be convenient for you, we will give you this opportunity. You see that we've got 4 weeks plus 2 days of marathon. So it's 30 days of intensive preparation. Almost every day is filled with some theory and practice, right? As you noticed, each day of the week is dedicated to a certain skill, to a certain part and skill that we that are checked on IELTS exam. The first day is written, Monday. Next, on Tuesday and Wednesday, you are practicing writing tasks, writing part 1 and writing part 2. Then on Thursday, you are practicing listening. And then on Friday, it's speaking. And as Marjan said before, on Saturday, you're doing a practice test. Now, if you see, on each week, we come back to the topics that we have already learned, and we deepen them. So we go into depth and we consider different types of tasks. Let's look at the reason, for instance. So on the first week, we discussed the matching headings types of questions. On the next week, we practice true, false, not given types of questions, etc., etc. So as you see, we try to cover the most material, as much material as we can. Under these boxes, you can see the topics: beauty, loneliness, multitasking, medicine, history. Why these topics? The reason is, guys, is that on the practice tests, you're going to have certain topics, like the readings on certain topics, listenings, writings, and speakings. In order for you to be prepared to this practice test, we will assign readings, other readings, and listenings, and other types of exercises on these topics that you will have in practice tests, but something different. Why did we do this? The reason is that when you prepare to the topic, when you study it in depth, and then when you come back to it and you revise it, you learn 10 times better. That's why we hope that this will really help you. These topics, beauty, loneliness, multitasking, they all will be on the practice test. That's why please learn the vocabulary, read the readings, listen carefully to the listenings. You will have some ideas from them. You will enlarge your understanding. You will expand your knowledge on these topics, and then you will show what you've learned on the practice test. Okay, so I hope that it is clear. If you have any questions, you can ask me. But basically this is it about the course map. It's quite straightforward, but please be sure that actually each step of this marathon is designed well, and we have revised it many times. That's why we've done the best that we could.
You can't even imagine how many hours we put in to designing this marathon. Thinking these small things through, and there is more to come. This isn't the end. We're just getting started, so it's going to be better and better. So if you have some future plans to sign up for another course, or if you have your children preparing for IELTS, they will get even a better course. So moving on, thank you very much, Sveta. This is a brilliant course map. We will share that with you later after the meeting. So speaking of the daily task structure, so what every day looks like. So you have already seen 3 days, right? 0, 1, and 2. So probably by now you have a general idea that every daily task consists of a theory video explained by me. Then we have a practice exercise Typically on a third platform, it might be the website englishexam.org. It could be IELTSonlinetest.com. So it could be other platforms, but those are good for automatic checking. Then we assign you daily reading and listening, typically a podcast. Then you will have a vocabulary set on Quizlet. I hope all of you have downloaded Quizlet by now, and you are using it actively to memorize these new words. Depending on the situation, depending on the day and the context, some of you may be given additional readings and videos and materials, right? Just like Sveta underlined, all readings, listenings, and vocab sets are related to practice tests. Therefore, it is a rewarding system. The better you study during the weekdays, the higher you score during our practice tests and during real practice, during real IELTS tests, hopefully. That's why, it is in your best interest to follow the instructions and study hard during the weekdays, okay? So, speaking of practice tests, every Saturday we're going to have one. So listening and reading part is completed on the website IELTSonlinetest.com. So we provide the instructions and we provide all the necessary links. Taking these tests on that website is free and quite convenient, I would say. So that's why we chose that platform for your listenings and readings. For writing, you guys will have to upload a document to the platform. So as it has been announced in the beginning of the marathon, so we can provide the feedback to practice tests only to upgrade and pro students. Unfortunately, classic students will not get feedback for the practice tests, but at the same time, we still encourage you to submit your responses so that you keep up with the rhythm of the marathon. And speaking part would be completed using the speaking test simulator. Speaking test simulator is a pre-recorded video. It could be me, it could be Sveta, it could also be a third-party examiner. So it's a pre-recorded video of us asking you questions and waiting some time after every question for you to speak. During that time, you would have to turn the voice recorder on your phone on. Then you have to put it nearby and record the whole conversation. Then you send that audio file to us, and then we'll listen to it and grade your response. That's how it works, okay? The good thing of the speaking test simulator is that it's completely flexible, right? You can do that test anytime during Saturday or Sunday, but don't play with it too much, okay? Still keep the deadline in mind. Moving on, assignment deadlines, a very sensitive question to most of you, right? So typical deadline for daily practice tasks is 24 hours. However, one thing to remember, one key distinction. For listening and reading, the deadline is lax. By that I mean you are strongly advised to complete it in 24 hours. We strongly advise you. We want you to complete that in 24 hours, but we also know that there could be some circumstances, right, which you cannot control. And if for some reason you missed a reading practice exercise, don't worry, because you can complete it anytime during the week, right? But you should definitely make sure that you do that. But, and here's the important distinction. With writing and speaking, the deadline is rock solid, as I said. The deadline is strict. You must submit your speaking or writing assignment in 24 hours. Otherwise, it cannot be checked, okay? Please remember, keep in mind that we are all human beings, right? And we have our own limitations. We cannot be checking the assignments received for day 1 on day 7. That's why we need the system to keep everything running. And this is also good for you, right? Because you have the motivation to keep up with the pace of the course. That's why the deadline for writing and speaking is 24 hours. For practice tests, the deadline, as I calculated, is 34 hours. Every Saturday, we will release it at 8 a.m. Nur-Sultan time. And the deadline is closed at 6 p.m. Nur-Sultan time. as well. All right, so I also know that there could be some time difference between Nur-Sultan and Chisinau, for example. For those special occasions, I mean, yeah, the deadline can be shifted a bit to fit in with your time zone, but only in those occasions. For all other occasions, I mean, you have to follow the deadline. Then, speaking of the feedback, right? I mean, I don't know why somebody's so small here. Let me just, oh, hold on. So looks like I accidentally closed the window. Oh, no, I didn't. But okay, just bear with me for 1 second. Fixing the slide. Increasing the font. My manager.
No, it did switch off the demonstration.
So it's still on, right? You can see.
No, it's off.
Oh, it's off. Okay, fine. I'm sharing it back.
Гайморитный просто.
Okay, Roman, switching you off. Can you see me now? Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can.
Okay. There is a decent chance that my laptop will switch off in a second if I don't connect it to the charger. So hold on. Okay. All right. Yeah, baby, we are. Oh, no, we're not done. Hold on. Okay, yeah, now it's fixed. Cool. If you see my screen, you can see that it is about the feedback and about our team. All right, so writing and speaking assignments and practice tests will be checked by our Dixi fellows. We have 2 of them, Malika and Agherke. So you will be getting feedback from them. All right. So speaking of speaking clubs, we have 2 speaking club moderators, Yer Sultan and Jamila. They will be hosting speaking clubs. Then you will also have a course curator. Her name is Damira. So sometimes if you are falling behind or if you haven't submitted your practice test, you will get a message from Damira, all right? Which means that we have a special person who would be looking after your performance and completion. So don't chill. I mean, we're watching you. Finally, for some administrative questions, for example, like adding you to the platform, you can contact Simbot, right, our Dixi manager. We will also share some official contacts as a one message in the chat later, okay? Finally, so we also have a thing called grammar checklists. Let me, quickly, I think we haven't done this previously, but let me introduce Sveta properly. So Sveta is currently a Nazarbayev University student. That's a university in Kazakhstan. She used to work at Skyeng previously. She has 2.5 years of experience in teaching there. And currently she works as a course designer at Dixi. And Sveta will tell you more about grammar checklists and what they are.
Okay, great. Yeah, Magjan, are we supposed to see anything right now? Except for the slide with the feedback and theme.
Yeah, I switched the slide.
No, you haven't. Please, yeah, switch it on off and on again. Mm-hmm.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay, guys, in order to keep you motivated, yeah, so that you don't fall apart after 2 days, we have designed some presents to you, okay? So we will be giving you the small presents. These are actually not the small presents. These are big, really important, useful resources that you can use in your preparation. After the completion of 1 week of marathon, after you have finished it, we will give you a present, which is called grammar checklist. Because in the course of this marathon, we do not focus on developing your general English level, we focus on developing your IELTS preparation skills, okay? That's why grammar lags a bit behind. So this grammar checklist will provide you the instructions how to instantly improve your score by 1.5. Okay, so grammar checklist is a little present. Okay, after you complete week 2, we will be presenting to you the list of unusual questions. Sometimes, if you have taken IELTS before, you saw, you maybe have noticed that sometimes questions are just super strange, yeah, like they are crazy, like describe your favorite tree, and like you don't have a favorite tree and you don't know the names of the trees even in your first language. So these types of strange questions that are real, that people really get on their IELTS exams, we have compiled them into one file, and we will give this file to you so that sometimes you can have fun and prepare. Okay, after you complete week 3, you will get the idea bank, the access to the idea bank, and we're going also to constantly update this idea bank, and we will get more ideas to it. Idea bank is actually, so imagine you have a topic here, and then we provide you some arguments that you can write on this topic, arguments for, arguments against, causes, consequences, etc. Okay, and there will also be another present, which I guess Marjan is going to talk about. But basically, the idea that we want you to understand is that this marathon is hard and you have to keep up with it. And in order to keep up with it, you always have to reward yourself. Okay, you should always say how great job you have done. Okay, every day. So try to also watch your motivation. Try to take care of yourself, of your mental health. Yeah, and try not to procrastinate, and don't leave all the material till the last minute. Okay, try to keep up every day. Okay, are there any regulations if someone doesn't perform tasks? Previously, we had the rules that if you don't do the tasks, we kick you out of the marathon because you just don't need it. But we have rethought this idea, and actually no, like the bad consequence that you get if you don't prepare is that you don't prepare. Okay, you won't get a result. So that's your own, let's say, punishment, but we do not punish you in any way. For instance, if you do not complete week 1, yeah, and we have promised to give you the grammar checklist, if you haven't completed week 1, you don't get it, okay? But you can catch up on it, and then when you provide us, I don't know, the proof that you have actually completed week 1, but a bit later, yes, we can send you the grammar checklist, okay? But basically, try to keep up with all the tasks timely, yeah. And also, yeah, on the matter of questions that you can ask from me. So we have different roles assigned to different people, right? So please do not write like general questions to all the people at once. We have Marjan for, we have managers for the questions about like package, etc., etc. Me, like what questions you can ask from me. You can ask me questions about general academic learning. You can ask me questions how to learn, how to memorize stuff better. If you have any mental problems, okay, if you have any, I don't know, if you want to tell me something, I am here for you, okay? So I will be providing you educational help, not IELTS help, but the educational help. I hope that this is clear. So
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Sveta. Moving on. Well, one thing called Marathon Starter Pack, and those 46 people that are listening to me now, please listen until the end of this meeting, because we have prepared one huge surprise for you. But before that, speaking of the Marathon Starter Pack, this is a collection of things you need to do to get the most out of this marathon. So the underlying principle of the starter pack is you, during the next 30 days, need to maximize your immersion into English. And to do that, there are several things you can and which we recommend you to do. Thing number 1, switch your phone to English, and do that now. Every day, we spend around 6 to 8 hours looking at the phone. So for example, yeah, you can just check my phone average. I'm not lying, I'm spending around 7 to 8 hours every day. And there are so many English names and words we can look at by looking at the phone on Instagram, in phone settings, and many other things. that exposure to English, especially if it's a forced exposure, when you don't know the meaning of that word, but you have to understand what that is, it really, really forces you to start thinking in English. And that's a cool thing you can do for yourself. Switch your phone to English now. Second thing you can do, download the Merriam-Webster dictionary. All right. So this is an English to English dictionary. So one key thing that prevents Russian speakers, Kazakh speakers, Kyrgyz speakers, and foreign language speakers from progressing in English is their habit of thinking in their own native language. When we think in Russian, let's say, or in Kazakh, and then we translate that to English, our sentences sound weird, don't they? Right? I mean, that's just how it works. But if you start learning new words, not in your language, but in English first, and if you would try to build these new neural links and all these new connections and associations in English, that would actually make your mind and intellect start thinking in English. All right. Therefore, learn new English words in English first, not in your language, but first in English. Then, if you want to be always up to date with news, read them in English. Okay. For intermediate users, I would recommend downloading BBC News. For advanced users, you may download The Guardian. I mean, depending on the country, you may have some limited access to these apps, but you can read them online in your browser as well. For podcasts, the app I use is Radio Public. It's free for iOS and Android. We need to double check that in app stores now, but yeah. Also, iPhone users, there is a built app called Podcasts in Apple. You can use that too. Then for vocabulary, I think by now you already have Quizlet installed on your phones. We use that for flashcards. It's amazing. It helps you memorize these words quickly. If you want to raise your general English level, if you feel that you lack some knowledge in particular topics and you want to train that, you can download BBC's Learning English app. That is also another good one for intermediate users. And again, another final thing to remember, stop consuming media in your own language. If you are into news, stop reading them in Russian or Kyrgyz or Kazakh or Uzbek. I mean, just stop that, okay? Do that in English. Same thing about movies and TV shows. So I have this one friend from Kyrgyzstan who I met in 2015, and he taught me this habit of watching any movie he can in English. I mean, if there is an opportunity, if you don't have friends around, and if it's just you, why don't you do that in English? And there are so many advantages of that. Besides practicing English, you also learn new words, new concepts, and you get the inside jokes and humor, right? I mean, translation loses most of that, but when you watch a movie in the original language, it's so much better. You can get so much more out of it. Final surprise, which I prepared for today, Dixi Ambassador Program. It sounds ambitious. What is that? We highly encourage you guys to share your learning experience with the friends who follow you and with all other people in your stories and feed on Instagram and TikTok. And for those of you who would be willing to do that, we have a special program called Dixi Ambassador Program. If you share your experience and tag us whenever you do that, we will, of course, repost you on our page, but the most active marathon student who would be sharing their experience during the entire month will receive a full Dixi scholarship to take the IELTS tests. So, which means that we are going to pay for you taking the IELTS, okay? Or if you have already paid and it turns out you were the most active, we will refund you, okay? We will give you the money back for the IELTS you've taken, okay? That sounds pretty good, right? So in Kazakhstani tenge, it's around 64 to 88,000 tenge, depends on where you are, which city you are in, but we're ready to pay for your IELTS if you would be telling about your experience to others. As of now, for this marathon, we can only provide one full Dixi scholarship. Okay, so there aren't too many, but I mean, we also hope that there would be several of you who would participate and try to win this Dixi scholarship. Okay, as of now, the official part is over. I have nothing else to tell you guys, and we are fully open to your questions and feedback. So any questions you might have, you can ask them now.
I don't have a question.
Okay, so there was a question about regulations for those who don't perform tasks. Sveta, can you answer that?
Yeah, I have already. No, we do not punish you. You punish yourself. What about speaking clubs, Marjan?
So I'm moving back to the previous slide. Please pay attention. As we said, we will have 8 speaking clubs. The first speaking club is starting this Thursday. Speaking clubs are run every Monday and Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. Nur Sultan time. Okay, in the evening.
Magjan, is it possible to upgrade my package, for example?
Yeah, totally. What package are you in right now?
On Classic.
You're Classic. Yes, you can upgrade to Pro. That's possible. Yeah.
So I need to write someone?
Yes. Please text Sambat. I don't know if she messaged you before, but yeah, you need to text Sambat.
Okay.
Anything else?
When should we share about the Dixi program?
Anytime actually. So the results would be announced at the end of the marathon, okay? And we will be looking at your performance and activity during the whole month. But you can start tonight and we will see how it changes until December 22nd. And if, as a result of the whole month, we decide that you were the most active, Dixiona, you are going to get the scholarship.
By saying being active, you mean doing all the exercises or what?
No. Dixi Ambassador Program is about sharing. It's about posting content. Yeah. I mean, we also want you to complete all these exercises, and you obviously shouldn't miss on them. But yeah, Ambassador Program is about sharing content.
Okay, thank you.
Marjan, there's a question from Aidana. Yesterday we didn't have speaking club.
We didn't. It's going to start this Thursday, 2 days from now. Okay.
Inkar, you can speak now. You had a question.
Okay, so basically the main goal of being an ambassador means that first of all, we have to share our experience on social media, and secondly, being active. Or did I understand that correctly?
Completion of tasks isn't a criterion for Dixi ambassadors. I mean, we really want you to be active in terms of learning, but Dixi Ambassador Program is only about sharing the content on social media, and that's the only criterion we're going to use to compare you guys. You see? Is my point clear? Okay. So can I score 6 if my level is pre-intermediate? Sveta, would you like to answer that? Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, no.
Okay.
No, yes.
So yeah, there was a question from Yer Mohammed. Can I score 6 if my level is pre-intermediate? Sveta, would you like to answer that?
Yeah, so look, actually you can if you do 100% of tasks. Okay, so we grant you plus 1.5 growth in your overall band score. Okay, but you should also understand that that's a language exam. That's why all the things may happen, yeah, and you can score a bit less on the actual exam than you performed on the practice tests, yeah, because there are many other variables, many other things that affect your score. But if you do like all the tasks every day in a very like good manner, like day by day, then of course you can score up to 6 from the current level. Yeah, there was a question about can you choose your own speaking partner? We will try to provide you this flexibility. Okay, if we have time and of course and enough people to arrange it, yes, of course, like we will, or maybe you can switch with other people. Okay, but yeah, you can. Yeah. Now, Bogdan, Bogdan, this question about Bogdan's question, are we going to divide them by language levels?
Okay, so some of you may have some certain additional exercises that that's going to be given by us based on the Dixi introductory test. Some of you, I'm not saying everybody, but some of you may have some additional exercises depending on your language level. If you do not have an additional exercise, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means that we decided that, yeah, you should follow this program. So
yeah, so basically you took the DIT in order for us to see what skills you're lagging at. So if we feel that some of the skills is actually like you're lagging and it's lower than your overall score, yeah, then we give you some additional exercises. So that's like little personalized lessons that we give you, but these are all individual. Okay, so we decide these questions individually.
Okay, we have a student named A who texted a question about pro workshops. Can you speak up? What's your name? Who is A? Can you tell me your name, please? So speaking of pro workshops, I'll be quick on this. The schedule in pro workshops has been made crystal clear from the beginning. So we are going to have pro workshops every Monday and Wednesday. First pro workshops are starting tomorrow. All right. And tomorrow at 1 p.m. By the way, tomorrow is my birthday. So yeah, you can prepare your presents for the pro workshop. So first workshops are starting tomorrow, and we are going to have them every Monday and Wednesday. Okay, so one group is from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Nur Sultan time. Second group is from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Okay. So Asyam, you were probably added to the group by now, I think. Any other questions?
Hi, can you explain how to work with Quizlet program? Should we have to take notes ourselves or we get a read card?
Sveta, would you like to answer that?
Did you hear me?
I did, but I'm not sure. Yeah. So there was a question about Quizlet. How to use it? Should people use additional notebooks to work with Quizlet? Sveta, can you answer that?
No, Quizlet is super automatic. It's super it's actually super convenient to use. So you just download an app on your phone, okay, and we send you the link to the module. In the module, you've got cards with the words, and you have different exercises to practice them. For instance, you've got the cards, yeah, so you have the definition of the word, and you have to remember what the word is. So you do the tests, you complete different exercises, and that's how you you drill them, yeah, like you заучиваете these cards, okay? So you do not need notebooks for this, and we do not advise you to use notebooks, okay? You have to try to memorize it, keep them in your head. And the question, is workshops the same as speaking clubs? No, these are not. Speaking clubs are for everybody, for classic and upgrade and pro, for everybody, okay? But workshops are only for the 2 packages, right?
That's absolutely correct. I mean, actually, workshops are for pro. It's just for 1 package. But yes, Vera is right. Yeah, workshop is not a speaking club. These are sessions which are designed to improve your speaking and writing skills. Okay.
So Alma, no, workshops are not for upgrade. They are only for pro.
That's correct.
And if you cannot attend some workshops, there will be recordings done for you so you can watch them later, okay? So if you're in the pro package, but your work schedule does not allow you to attend the workshops live, then you will be provided the recordings, okay? So you will never miss.
All righty, friends, we are taking the last few questions and calling it a day. So if you have a question, it's damn good time to ask them.
About speaking clubs, how they would be held between every participants in the Zoom?
Yes, we will have, so we have 2 speaking club moderators, right? So every Monday and Thursday, we will send a link to the Zoom. There will be 2 rooms, and rooms would be split based on your surname. If your surname starts somewhere with A to M, so for example, your surname is Kalinina, let's say, you are in the first group with Yer Sultan. If your surname is Sovidbek, from N to Z, my surname is Sovidbek, I'll be in the second group with Jamila. So this is how it works. So typically, our speaking clubs are attended by groups of 10 to 15 people, depends. I mean, here, obviously, we have more, but yeah, for some reasons, people cannot attend. But yeah, that's what we typically have. Then there was another question. Zila, so she's asking a question about Thinkific, but Sveta already answered that. So Zarina says it would be great if you divide us by our level on speaking clubs. You will be, based on your level, you will be allocated a speaking partner, a speaking buddy. I mean, that would be based on your level. But for speaking clubs, unfortunately, in the framework of this marathon, I mean, yeah, this is how it works. And it's actually good to have students of different levels, right? Even, let's consider 2 scenarios. I mean, scenario number 1, when you are of low, when your level is lower than level of your partners, I mean, level of the people in the group, I mean, obviously that's great, right? You learn from them. But even in the scenario when other people's level is lower than yours, that scenario is good too. Most people would think that that's a waste of time, but actually you learn a lot by watching their mistakes, looking at the phrases they misuse sometimes, and most importantly, and this is the essence. Oh, come on, baby. So most importantly, you listen to the feedback that the speaking club moderator gives them. And that feedback is so much useful because you wouldn't make that mistake yourself and you wouldn't hear that feedback, right? So if that's it from you guys, if there are no other questions, then we call it a day. Thank you very much for attending. It's been my pleasure to get to know you all. If you have any other questions, text in the chat. And I wish you best of luck with this marathon. And we will have many exciting activities waiting for us ahead. Just stay in touch and attend community meetings. Okay, bye. Enjoy your evening, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.